heal off the spiderlings, and he has the AoE spell in the lane. So I don't think they want to pick Brood into the Necro. I think both these teams value a lot of the same heroes, like what Pike had said. These heroes like Necrophoses and Venomancers, these heroes just want to abuse lanes, and they're just annoying to deal with, right? So yeah, I think this is like a mentality right now between the Western and the Chinese teams.
We're going to get the chance to see the final match. It's the final lower bracket elimination match of the day. It's Game 3 of Virtus.Pro and Team Liquid.
10 seconds remaining. Virtus.Pro's turn to
Faceless Void.
Draft is underway, and we see right out the gate Ancient Apparition, Faceless Void, the combination that actually sent Virtus.Pro to the lower bracket.
Yeah, so Liquid get the Shaker first pick. This is their third strat, the Shaker Furion. They love this strat. They picked it a lot in the group stages of this tournament. What GH is going to do, he's going to abuse the Fisher mid lane. And the thing about Furion as a hero, he's really strong in lane now, like what Pike was saying earlier about winning the lane. The Treants got really buffed. In general, you can also take their bounty run with the Treants, like level 1. And if the enemy here has a hero that needs PMS in the carry, he needs to start with PMS, so he's down some regen. So this lane like pressures mid and their safe lane a lot. And this AA Void is like the Chinese opening. I see LFI picked it a lot. I saw LGD pick it. It was picked a lot at MDL too. It's just a really strong opening because they synergize so well. The A will give damage to Void. Void lacks damage till late game, and he sets up for the AL too. So it's like they just have synergy, and also Void can go to any lane. Like I know all three of their cores play this Void. I've seen no one play Void mid. I've seen Pasha play Void off lane. I've seen Ramses play Void carry. So right now Liquid don't really know where this Void is going, and VP know where this Furion is going. Like 100% it will be off lane, unless they go for some aggro, which they won't generally do. So.
And something interesting to note, in contrast to a lot of the other drafts that we've seen, these two picks and the first 3 bans from both sides took like less than 30 seconds. I mean, they blasted through those, only just now going into reserve time on the Lycan ban.
I think usually before you go into a match, you decide what kind of opener do you want to have. What are you going to give them? Like VP know, they're thinking, right? Which of these heroes are we going to give them? If they have first pick, okay, we got to give them one. Then they decide, and they know what they're going to respond with. So that's why they usually the first 2 picks are usually pretty fast.
The thing with Liquid is they already know what every team will ban versus them. They know what that they're going to ban Wisp and Coddle. So it's easy for them to kind of set up drafts even like before the game starts. And my also thing with this, the Shaker versus Void, I feel like I'm a bit puzzled why they picked this Void like this, because I feel Shaker is a very good hero versus Void. Throughout the game, like Void will buy Lincolns, you know, if he's like a carry. But Shaker is like one of the few heroes in Dota that has a stun that doesn't care about Lincolns. And that's why I feel like it's hard to play Void versus Shaker in the game, especially if the game goes late, because you'll always get chained. You'll get echoed, you'll get fissured, you'll get chant totemed, and you're really easy. If you remember the game Liquid versus IG, Game 3, XXS Shaker versus Mind Control Void. And that was a really hard game for Mind Control because it was the Shaker versus Void matchup, and as soon as Shaker gets playing, Void can't do anything on the map. So let's see what. Also, this cool thing about this AA pick is also blocks Necrophos. So Furion, when Liquid do the Shaker Furion strat, they love picking Necrophos with it to abuse mid lane. And what they do is like Necro is one of the strongest mid lanes in this patch if he gets help, because he has inherent regen. When you have inherent regen as a core hero, you always have a matchup advantage because there are no more shrines in Dota. So this Necro will sit mid and he gets Heartstopper and he'll just attack you. He'll just hit you, and then GH will come with the 100 damage Fisher, and he'll attack you and Fisher attack you. And every mid player will be like, I hate playing versus this. So Slardar comes out.
Marlene, what do you make of the Slardar third pick for Virtus.Pro?
Unusual, I would say, a little bit, especially with the Faceless Void in AA. Usually you want like more overwhelming team fight, especially from non-melee heroes. But I guess they have eliminated most of the cheese too. The Necrophos, as Bola mentioned, taken out pretty much with the Ancient Apparition. Huskar also not really an option. Broodmother taken out, so just normal Dota, unless there's this last pick Nepo.
Yeah, I'm not sure about this Slardar pick. Like Pikecat was saying, I feel this hero is very slow in this patch.
I think he's good at catching out an Nature's Prophet though. I think that's one of the heroes that Nature's Prophet doesn't not like playing against.
Yeah, but the problem with this hero is like you will still need Blink at some point, and Furon will push in the lanes into you, and it's hard to kill people like that. So, and also Furon can snowball the game before you have Blink Dagger, which is kind of annoying.
Yeah, it's a little bit worrisome for VP, I think, to see can they get to that Blink Dagger. Like, how much can the Slaughter accomplish with these heroes? Because none of these heroes are super strong in the lane stage, and this Prophet can apply a lot of pressure together with Shaker early on. So it's going to be interesting to see whether or not.
Yeah, that was a really good pick.
Yeah, the Venomancer, it's really nice for many reasons against this Slaughter. You can cancel the Blink Dagger, and you can usually see him coming. And when he uses Sprint, he takes a lot more damage from all this poison from Venomancer. So quite difficult for a hero like Slaughter to play up against Venomancer.
And you know, this draft from Team Liquid at this point is characteristic of a lot of the group stage drafts that had 3 heroes that had a lot of flexibility. I mean, Nature's Prophet almost certainly is off lane, but Earthshaker has been roaming, has been off lane, has been mid. Venomancer can be played almost in any lane.
Pain. Interesting. I feel like both these teams, they play this meta called cheese meta. And they pick these heroes that look like literally like cheese. They pick these yellowish, greenish heroes. And I feel like the team that,
a deft analysis, Bulba.
and I feel like the team that will have more of these will win. And I just look at Liquid's draft and I just see this Furon and this Venomancer. And I look at VP's draft and I see blue heroes and I'm like...
It's a very purple and blue lineup.
Yeah, and
indeed, Team Liquid's, it's more yellow and green. I can't
and
deny
I
that.
tell you, blue heroes hate playing versus these yellow heroes. They hate playing versus Venomancer hero. He counters all the blue heroes. Because let me tell you, when you play Slaughter with Blink Dagger, you do not want to play versus a Venomancer. It is not fun.
There you have it, guys.
Yeah. So, Merlini.
I don't know how to pull one.
No, I got you, man. Do you think that this hero will also be yellow?
Could be Lone Druid. Lone Druid is yellowish. Actually, I don't know where they...
Well, actually, Lone Druid is one of the heroes that Team Liquid does like to run in mid.
Yeah. You don't know whether this Veno will be mid or carry. Keep in mind.
Yeah.
What do they like versus Queen mid?
Is Nyx Assassin banned? No, Nyx Assassin is not actually banned at this point.
I don't know where they fit into a lineup. I guess they could ship Mind Control to the Earthshaker and then put Gage on the...
Anti-mage. Oh, he's a blue hero. So, like, this kind of shows that it's Veno mid, I think.
Could be. Yeah, because I don't think that Anti-Mage fares very well against Quap.
It'll be Quap Slaughter mid, right? And then AIM will just get...
I know that Miracle likes playing his Anti-Mage mid, and I also think, I feel like he's the one who's going to play this Anti-Mage, and it feels like a Matomba man and event.
So, you know, we're talking a little bit about the lanes and where we think people will be going, but in terms of the team as a whole, how would you evaluate Team Liquid's strengths right now?
I think Team Liquid, they have a pretty cool lineup because they can kind of pressure early on. This Prophet, he applies a lot of pressure to the lanes, same as Shaker. And Venomancer, as soon as he gets his level 7, is very annoying to deal with. Whereas VP, they need this Queen of Pain to do really well in the lane and kind of carry them through the early game so that they can get to this Blink Dagger of Slaughter and Void can get a few items. And then they can hopefully get some pickoffs with like some combination of Slaughter, Blink Crush with A ult and Quap, or if it's Void.
It's going to be really hard for them to find pickoffs, though. I think Team Liquid have like the king split push lineup. Nature's Prophet and Anti-Mage is a nightmare to play against. And then you have the Venomancer wards to see if anyone's coming. So if Slaughter doesn't get a blink early, I could easily see Liquid just controlling the entire map.
Yeah, like Void off lane is really hard to play versus Anti-Mage safe lane. In general, the laning phase is really hard if the AM gets some help. And I think Liquid should go for a Rasta pick. I think it's really good this game.
And it's
a Lich. Okay. Yeah, I would have liked to see Rasta because I think the Rasta would have a free lane. And the Rasta AM can zone the Void. It's like kill. Maybe the other hero was like Disruptor or something, but this Lich AM is like, it'll be the Lich AM lane. I think they might do Lich AM mid, right?
There's a potential that they might do that. So Venomancer goes safe lane, kinda can get a bit of help from maybe the Shaker if necessary, and Prophet can always TP in.
How do they deal with AM now? I think Bloodseeker's one of the counters that I see a lot.
They do have a good counter. The Slaughter, he's one of the best heroes versus Anti-Mage because AM doesn't have high armor.
They do have a Lich though.
Yeah, that is true. But in general, at least it is some catch for him.
Yes, and vision, so that way when he's trying to be tricky with his blinks, you can still see him.
Yeah, so it's just, I'm not sure what VP picks here. They need to decide maybe a Bloodseeker pick again, but then the Void is like going to be versus Veno. It's I don't know. I feel like Liquid's draft looks really good.
Yeah, because at this point, It seems pretty reasonable to say that Queen of Pain will be mid and Faceless Void will be safe lane for Virtus.Pro due to the fact that Faceless Void struggles quite a bit versus Anti-Mage.
Yeah. Queen.
So this really, this feels like it has to be, I mean, technically Slardar can go off lane, although we've seen
Okay.
more often roam. And there's the Magnus pick.
Really hard to play versus Venno, but does make the Void decent late game versus the AM.
Well, Team Liquid has a very intimidating lineup for pushing. Virtus.Pro has a team fight combo that sent them to the lower bracket with AA and Faceless Void. Let us head into the final game of the lower bracket of the International 7, Virtus.Pro versus Team Liquid.
We have been spoiled with the beautiful duo that we've seen not only through all of TI7, but right here in this series. An intense game one, a long game one, to a very convincing game two from Virtus.Pro. Game three is a new day. There's a lot of team fight. It's a lot of quick, big team fight as well from both sides.
Yeah, this is another very different game. It's always nice to see in these best of threes when the strategies shift so much from game to game. VP just played a very heal-intensive lineup. Now they're playing one without any, and one of their first picks is actually the anti-healer and Ancient Apparition. So, yeah, it's a team fight lineup from VP that has a lot of damage output. I would say all of their heroes have a lot of damage, and Liquid are going to be focusing really heavily on their lanes. I think when you pick Lich 5th like this, it sends a message about what your goal is in the game. You want to secure those lanes, you want to get a head start, and then they want to push. They have Venno and the Furion, and then of course the Anti-Mage for that split push. Looking over at VP, their split push not as good, but
Their team
empowered Void is something VP have been very good at playing with, and Magnus in general is a classic for VP. We saw it so much at the Kiev Major, this Magnus Ursa that they used to love to play. They also played Magnus Void in that tournament, I believe, and they even have amplified damage. So VP's damage is high. Liquid will be looking to some good lanes.
So we're talking about like the Team Liquid, like they got the split push, they got Prophet, you talked about Anti-Mage with their strength for the split push as well. How does VP now time this? We see sweet team fight with, you can get that RP, Sonic Wave, all that combination together. It looks really, really nice for Virtus.Pro. But are they able to do that? Can they force Team Liquid into a position where they have to fight into VP's heroes?
That's the question. I think something to look out for in this game will be the Faceless Void's item build. I think item builds on this hero are very telling about how the team views the game plan. We've seen Voids go Linken's first as a defensive item. We've seen Voids go for very farm-intensive builds. We've seen Voids go Shadow Blade when the team needs pickoffs.
Miracle, he doesn't want to have to level up Blink. 4 heroes, they come from all sides. They pin to the Anti-Mage. The stun should be good enough. The skewer cancelling the Blink. You'll get it far enough away, but no one blinks himself into the trees. Miracle will fall. No one's spilling first blood. A critical kill at the start of game 3.
Miracle. Yeah, that's a really good start for VP, and a very unexpected play. The reason this works is that Miracle was in no way, he didn't see that coming at all. And the magic damage of Chilling Touch is very high in the beginning. Anti-Mage doesn't have that magic resistance yet. So he is a very squishy hero against those type of ganks. And good start for VP. They got, was that 3 bounty runes? They got 3 bounty runes and first blood.
Yep. And they're already going to get the extra items out to the Queen of Pain. Now, GH and Solo just seem to be going hammer and tongs here. Now, Solo's got Chilling Touch off cooldown in 1 second time. And GH, they both walk away pretty well worse for wear from both sides, but no one else is going to come to help out. Mind Control still too busy on the bottom lane, doesn't have TP just yet.
This is a win for Solo, though. GH doesn't have any regen. So GH will throw out another fissure, and he has to run all the way back to base. Can't use the Shrine. Doesn't want to buy tangos now and some down or a salve, so this is a shaker that's going to be off the map for a good half minute if he buys a TP, or even more if he walks back out. And that means Solo gets to pull, and that's what you want to do as AA. Get that level 6. Faceless Void against Nature's Prophet. Slightly annoying lane for the Void, but will be okay ultimately, just getting some levels up in that time walk.
Interesting choice of items coming out in the mid. I would expect this if you had like Venomancer spamming out Plague Wards, but no one's gone for the early stick. Do you kind of like that over progressing into the Null Talisman instead? Because you got a 1-1-0 build at the moment.
Yeah, I think the Magic Wand against Venno is a very good purchase. If Venno goes for the combat build here and doesn't skill Plague Ward, I think no one is very happy with that. It's almost like you have to do that as Venom in this game. Solo is actually in trouble down here. Mind control, Orb of Venom and Boots, and he's blocking him with the Treant.
It's got to keep him blocked. It doesn't work. However, Solo able to both go left and right. Fissure is there from GH.
Very
get
nice.
the kill, or help Mind Control get the kill, but take the bounty rune as well.
It's going to give Ramsey some space in that lane to get a lot of free CS, but good pressure from Liquid to prevent this AA from finding the levels. Didn't really successfully get anything out of that pull, and Shaker is finding a purpose very early here.
This is really nice for no one. Obviously a lot better at contesting the...
Oh, Solo, not again.
Oh, really? Cut through the trees. The creep wave's coming in from the Radiant side. Won't block out his own teammate, however.
He almost got surrounded by the Treants there. Had a couple of tangos to work with, so could have probably chopped his way out of there, but with a well-placed fissure, that could have been a second kill.
So no one went back up to full life. He found a regeneration rune at the 2-minute mark on the top. So Battlement, for all his harassment, doesn't really pay off. The fissure from GH, however, will help out.
All right, Matumba is going for the full combat build, at least for now. 2-2-0 build on the Venom, so no Plague Wards. I'm wondering if he chose it simply because he saw the stick.
Yep.
Courier snipe by MC, and he gets out.
He does. Straight in, straight out, but now Matuppaman's in trouble. Lil able to get the crush. This is a big kill if they can bring down the Venomance. They need him to be a big influence, Team Liquid. And that's a kill going the way of no one. A momentum-based hero like Queen of Pain, dangerous when you give her kills, especially two.
And Lich even TP'd in there going for the deny, but did not get it. Lil is hot on his tail. Kuro has boots.
It's too deep.
Yeah, he's going to get out of there. There's no bounty rune to contest right now either for Lil, but he has the money now for Tranquils. So we'll be heading over to the side shop. And well, we haven't talked too much about the CS, Toby, but VP are owning the lanes. They're doing really well on farm. Even Pasha's offlane Magnus is out-farming Miracle's anti-mage by quite a bit here.
The no points in Empower Magnus actually out-farming the anti-mage.
Yeah, and he went for a fast Soul Ring, so now they have guaranteed spell casting in the lane. Very nice to have against anti-mage.
Oh, no one's in trouble. Matubberman looks like he's able to hit the Gale as well as the Poison Sting. A quick blink away. No one.
Is he dead?
I think he is. The one-chargers don't give him enough life. The Venomous Gale as well as the Poison Sting still having an effect, and he'll live on 38 HP. You got GH, however, hovering around, and the Fissure hits the money. 346 worth of that money, in fact.
Liquid committed a lot for that kill. They TP'd in the Nature's Prophet behind, expecting the Queen to run back to base. Then when they realized that didn't happen, they had the Shaker covering the other angle. It's a very well-coordinated kill there, and GH reaps the reward. That's his mana boots, 4 minutes in.
Lil's going to harass the mid, actually managed to run himself into the mid, get the crush off with a double damage. One more attack from Noah will find the kill, the Frost. The return kill from Kuro, but a support for Core, and a heavy amount of damage into a Lich with no regeneration. He's got Frostblast off cooldown, but it's only level 1. And no one's still got a lot of regeneration.
Back to base time for Kuro, I think, unless he sends out a flask.
Lil,
he's going to run back.
He's got the sprint. Mind Control's in trouble. Here comes another crush. He's going to get around the corner. A quick jump forward. They're looking for a time lock. They'll go with a crush, and then the time lock from Ramsey will connect. Mind Control, he thought he'd be fine. Sprouting up, attempting the TP. But Lil gets the last bit of damage in, and they kept the vision inside the Sprout, making it impossible for Nature's Prophet to retreat.
And all of this movement from Mind Control has actually lost him his lane really hard. Like at this point, the Void is 32-9, and Mind Control is 14-0. Oh, he got the Courier Snipe though.
GH starting his TP, Lil the crush, gets there in time, Earthshaker. He tried to do his rotation, but he did it right underneath that Virtus.Pro ward, watching bottom rune. And Mind Control, at least he can get another Courier Snipe. Waiting for it. Rares can start to be gained as more and more Couriers get killed.
Alright, that is... now that he got 2 Courier Snipes, I think he's happy again. That is so big. This one was flying, I believe, was it?
Yep, it was flying Courier.
That's a lot of experience as well. I believe he was almost...
Oh, no one. But Tubberman's just lacquering on the dots, and this time should be enough, but he'll blink over to the shrine, so no one, the regeneration will keep him alive. And then Lil even steals the haste print from Matumba. This is not nice.
It's a lot of targeting on mid lane from both teams. Looks very even right now in terms of the farm, which is, I think, a good thing if you're playing Veno against Quap. I'm not too familiar with this matchup, but I would say Queen of Pain will generally have a pretty good time in this.
GH is looking for an opening in mid. They know if they can hit the Gale and the Fissure, then no one should die. They hit the Gale and the Fissure.
No sting.
Actually, then again, how many points is it? Okay, that'll work. Mind Control TP's in, looking for the solo kill. Lil will arrive, and Mind Control having to commit so heavily to get the kill on the Clop. Team Liquid must really believe that's worth it.
That's worth it for sure. Gets that kill on the Nature's Prophet. It's a higher level hero that he kills a higher priority core, and almost gets his level 6 for it as well. Lil will, however, get a lot out of this. This Slaughter of Lil has done so much work. Found 6 kills in 7 minutes, and pretty much secured their lanes a good start overall. He helped the Magnus top in the beginning to give Pasha a good start, then he went in and killed mid, and he's killed bottom as well. All over the place. And that's kind of been the mark of a lot of the successful teams that we've seen, is that their forward position gets really involved.
Here comes Lil! He needs to get the crush off, and it's a double crush after Sonic Wave connected on both of them as well. GH can't get the upshocks done. No one, not worth a blink in. He's got 4-1 charges. Miracle starts his TP in. They surround, they control, but no mana to escape. No one goes down once more. So Earthshaker for a Queen of Pain, but Tubberman lucky to stay alive through it all.
And Miracle's going to head straight up to top again. Got a nice little bounty for that kill, 200 gold.
He is the ticking time bomb we have not looked at.
Yeah, the thing is, for the AM himself, this rotation is not worth it. He pays 50 gold for a TP to get a 200 gold kill, and he moves across the map like that, losing CS top and giving the Magnus some space, but for the greater good of his team, that kill is really important. And now he's back up to top to get some much-needed farm toward that Battle Fury. Going straight for it, no in-between items this time, just treads Battle Fury as it looks with the standard 4-man shield Crawling Blade. We're back to farming, but still, I'm looking at this Faceless Void being uncontested, and I've seen Ramsey's games with Empower on Void, how scary he can be. This is actually one of the classic carry matchups from years ago. Back in the beginning of Dota 2, we had a lot of games with Anti-Mage versus Void, where both heroes would go Battle Fury and see who could farm the hardest, and Anti-Mage always won, so that was pretty boring. But nowadays, it's different. If you have this Empower on the Void, and he itemizes correctly, he has a lot of killing potential onto the Anti-Mage. Builds like getting the Silver Edge, for example, so that he amplifies the magic damage of his team with the AA Blast, or he could get the Manta Diffusal build, so he can kill the AM with all that physical damage. With Empower, this Void can kill AM on his own later on in the game. That's worrying, because AM wants to split push, and he can die to Ramses.
Lil's looking for an opportunity to try and gank, putting down the Observer Wards, but man, this is really unlucky for him. Both of the Observer Wards he planted in range of 2 Sentry Wards that Liquid already had down. They fit the first one to the Anti-Mage, and now they can just give that mid one out whenever they want to. But Tubberman's probably looking for that. But you're right about the Faceless Void, and we haven't seen him really being in the fights just yet. That's something which Liquid have to be careful of. This is why Mind Control is now sitting inside of his own jungle. He cannot come close to this Chronosphere without just knowing the fact he's dead.
Looks like Ramses will be going for either Vlad's or Mask of Madness. More than likely the Mask as a position 1 Void. Don't see too much reason to go for the Vlads in this game. It's not even particularly good against the enemy team. So we'll be maximizing his farm with that build-up, giving him more solo kill potential. And he's keeping the pressure on in this bottom lane. There's going to have to be a rotation. No, Mind Control, not again, really. Oh, I thought he was going for the courier somewhere, but he didn't. Oh, he's just spawning some treants to defend his tower, basically.
He's creep skipping.
Yeah, just the treants.
He doesn't have enough mana for Wrath of Nature. GH is moving over. This is a level 4 Earthshaker. They don't kill Faceless Void, but they can at least force him away from the tower. I don't think these treants are actually doing enough. Well, actually, yeah, they'll do enough damage.
And this game is, at this point, we have some nice, crazy early kills, but I think it's realistic that this game is a bit quiet now for a while. Both teams will be content to farm. It's very difficult to
say that. I look towards mid. Like, they're going to start with the Shadow Strike. This is a smoke move from Lil with the sprint. He's going to have to move at speed. The Ice Blast is coming in. Venomancer cannot regenerate through that. He gets the Nova off, but no one's in range.
It actually hit nobody.
Yep.
Great kill there from VP. This is the kind of plays you're going to see. Like, either they go for these skirmishes or they just farm, because Magnus is not ready to fight yet. He wants his Blink Dagger. The Void keeps farming up and getting this Mask of Madness, and will keep just rising up and getting a lot of money. And you look across VP's lineup, if you want to kill, you're using the Sonic Wave. And for Liquid, what's the kill potential, really, right? You have a Lich support together with Shaker, who's level 4. It's not that easy to find kills. You can TP in the Furion, but it's hard. AM doesn't really want to get involved too much. He wants to farm. So it's going to be a lot of farming and split push here, and that's why I feel like we're going to see a Shadow Blade coming out for Ramses later. It was a build we saw Resolution do for Empire. I can't remember the exact build order, but I think he also went these similar items. Ice Blast? Where did that hit?
It hit Tubberman in the mid lane. He's just trying to force the lane out. Knowing that no one doesn't have the Sonic Wave means that Venomancer is fine in mid. There is enough burst damage. But they're pushing so many heroes down the bottom lane. Pasha is still free farming top. So you talk about the Shadow Blade coming up. I'm thinking about the other initiations. Once his Mask of Madness is on Ramses, you'll have the Blink Dagger on Pasha pretty soon, especially if they give him the space. And no one is controlling the mid lane up nicely. He's already got the Veil, so you've got that amplification kick in from Virtus.Pro.
When the Blinks come out, it's a different story. Like, then VP will want to fight a lot more. I'm just saying, for now, it's fairly quiet. Slardar will probably try to farm his Blink as well. He's taken over the bottom lane while Ramses is now going to actually go for a smoke play here. They're going to bring the carry in toward the mid with AA. Ice Blast is online.
They're coming to kill Matumba.
This
Mask of Madness, they're going to leap into Chrono. Ice Blast is available as well. They'll commit everything. Apart from the Sonic Wave still on cooldown, but it's a Venomancer death. Plague Wards get mopped up as the pressure on the Tier 1 tower is released.
And this is a nice quick move because when
Mind
Ramses...
Control, bottom lane, they'll get the extra stun. Lil wants to run away with the crush onto GH. They've got a chance for it. Mind Control already used a sprint to try and control Lil. That damage brings him down to 17 HP. The Orb of Venom, Lil TP out. They don't know he's there. He's gone. But the pressure can at least be... Oh, actually, no, they're still looking for him. They can apply pressure to the Tier 1 tower on bottom as the upside.
It's still good for them to force Lil away. They don't want him to sit down there and just farm his Blink Dagger in his position for it. So...
TP's coming in. Ancient Apparition. Ice Blast just came back off cooldown. The Sprout will reveal him there.
That's awkward, Solo.
Yeah, where's Friends? Friends are not here. Queen of Pain doesn't have a blink. Instead, she's having to walk her way over. GH able to get the stun Matumberman here. Ice Blast connects with the Venomancer. Sonic Wave. It hits both GH and Matumberman. Allowing no one to get a double kill and no deny. Matumberman still gets the kill. No one was looking at it, but a little too late.
Quick movement from no one's co-op made that look very, very good for VP. They do lose their AA, but they get the tower deny. Slardar gets to farm the wave a bit. They get 2 kills.
But now Mind Control takes the mid tower, triggering the drum charges, so his Treants can do the rest of the work.
And Ramses is just a moment too late to get the deny.
This seems better for Miracle. With the death of these Tier 1 towers, the Animate's going to get more and more space. Battle Fury was done at the 13-minute mark, and he's already looking to go into that Manta style next.
The thing to keep in mind with AM is, in a lot of the successful anti-mage games we've seen, he's been like a last pick in a game where he's not that countered and where the hero will just naturally, by farming, if it free farms, you have that feeling that this guy will just win the game later. I don't have that feeling in this game for the AM pick in isolation. I think the solutions for VP are there. They have cores that deal a lot of damage with power. They have the hard lockdown, which I think is always extremely valuable against anti-mage. A spell like Chronosphere, this long duration stun. Alright, that was a kill.
Yeah,
was not looking there.
He died back at base. There's a double damage route on the Nature's Prophet.
Combining up with Venom. Got the kill, but they're going to lose their tower. So I think for Liquid, the challenge here is going to be Miracle's going to farm a lot, but they need a secondary as well to have a good game. Right now, neither Mind Control nor Matumberman are having the best of the games of their lives, to be honest. Like, Mind Control got those 2 courier snipes, which was amazing, but his farm is still... It's good, but I don't know if it's high enough. And mainly the Venomancer is a problem. Actually, looking twice at MC, this doesn't look too bad. But the cores on the graph are still VP favored behind that anti-mage. And Empower is the big deal breaker.
RP, Pasha commits in.
Alright,
Quick and efficient kill. They just want a GH, and they got him.
I'm going to be monitoring pretty closely whether, like, how this Void versus AM farming goes when Void has Empower. I have a feeling it's pretty even. Without Empower, AM takes him massive.
He realized that TP wasn't going to work when Lil's that close. Yeah, we get the Cold Feet, Shockwave, and the Crush, which means he goes nowhere. Pasha gets the easy pick. Blink Dagger is up on the Magnus. That's what revealed and got the kill in the mid to start with.
Oh my god, is he getting away with this? Lil pinged there. He's like, Nature's Prophet was here. He TP'd out.
Nature's Prophet is here, and Lil TP's out. No! Not in time. Matumberman just has enough damage to get the kill. Meanwhile, GH and Miracle teaming up to go against Solo. The Observe Ward's up on the hill. Solo, okay, well, while you're there, you may as well take the Bounty Rune away from Miracle and keep running. Mana Void's up, so Solo can't TP away from this one. Mind Control will come to help out. Sprout doesn't really help him. Oh, actually, okay, they'll just do it anyway. The Ice Blast turns. It will connect onto Miracle. Ancient Apparition will fall.
Yep. Another kill for Miracle. What's the plan here for VP's heroes? So Shadowblade is the next item for Magnus, so that will be their catch against the AM that he will not be able to detect. Blink Dagger almost up for the Slardar, and the Void is building toward Diffusal, actually getting a lot of damage bottom and top at the same time.
He blinks, he lives, he TPs. He will survive all the way home, Miracle will go. Meanwhile, on bottom lane, there was a little bit of posture between Matumberman as well as Ramses. Ramses also had to TP out after getting hit by the Nova and Gale. Just not taking that chance with a Faceless Void.
No. Speaking of Void, his Diffusal Blade is completed in a moment, so that will be his first item of choice. I'm guessing next up is either Shadow Blade or Manta for this particular game.
Mind control's being a real nuisance now. I'm wondering if, like, we're only 17 minutes in, you don't want to start placing Tinker Wards down for this guy, but he keeps creep skipping out with these Trions, causing a little bit of equilibrium problems in the lane.
I don't know how much this is worth it relative to the time it takes, though. He's losing out on a lot of farm by doing it, I think. I mean, if you have nothing better to do on the map, then fine, but
it feels like
he seems to be dealing with it pretty fine.
It's like it's forcing the rotation center of it. Like it's forcing 1 or 2 heroes to come up, try and get rid of at least the creeps, and then he just TP to the opposite lane. Because now he's out on bottom pushing to the tier 2.
He's definitely
VP move north.
The way I think about it, he's buying information for farm. He's trading gold for info. And if that info helps their anti-mage farm, then it's probably a good choice. But
'tis mine.
For now, Miracle is doing very well at least. He only died that first blood very early on in the game, has been farming very well and is progressing. Kept track on him and the Void, by the way. Over the last 5 minutes, I think the AM has gained 100 gold more than the Void. So there's almost no difference between these two with that Empower buff, with the current map control that is. You look at this Liquid lineup and you gotta, oh.
He's had enough of Mind Control, but Mind Control just juked him around the trees. Triggers the drum charge, has Ramses nearby as well, so Mind Control sprout up, but Lil's already there. Ice Blast coming in, Mind Control, he does get clipped by it in the trees, even time locked up.
Oh my god, that damage.
Yeah.
Whew. That hurts. Yeah, I'm looking over to Liquid's lineup and I'm like, I'm trying to see what hero is going to make the next move.
GH would probably be the biggest.
They need that Shaker Blink is up. Shaker Blink is up. It gives them the possibility of taking the team fight. But when it comes to catch and setting up the fights, they only really have Sprout or GH. And it's not realistic that Shaker has to engage every fight for them. Shaker is one of those heroes where you'd like him to also be secondary sometimes. It's nice if he can engage with Echo on a core and kill him off, but in many situations you want to sit back, Fissure, counterplay, and then look for that Echo.
They're coming.
It's not easy for them to set that up right now.
Mind Control and Miracle are attacking the tier 2 town, so it's up to Virtus.Pro if they want to fight this. Thanks to that Blink Dagger they do have up, it should give Liquid the advantage at the beginning of the fight. The question is, do they want to do it? There's your double stun and the Echo Slam combining with the Chain Frost GH.
That works.
A double kill. Solo and Lil, the 2 supports of Virtus.Pro. They'll go down. Roshan is the counter, however. Virtus.Pro claiming that. So 2 kills and a tier 2 tower on bottom lane for a trade-off of Roshan.
Radiant's bottom tower.
I think it's okay for Liquid. That Rosh was lost anyway when they went for the tower, so at least they found those 2 kills with the Shaker and Lich combining their ultis. Getting some nice gold and experience for both of them.
The only downside is it is the first reveal of the Blink Dagger. They maybe wanted more than 2 supports for that.
That's a fair point. It's not necessarily the best. Oh, Lil's trying to.
I don't know if we tried to shift click that, so he blink into crush. Mind Control is being a real nuisance. And no one has Sonic Wave and Orchid.
Yep. Ice Blast gonna miss.
Mind Control reads it right, he backs out.
Backing away this time. And Anti-Mage, first big item, first important item for him in terms of being able to fight and farm more effectively is now going to be completed. Here comes the Manta style.
Wow, GH, this is actually really nice for him. He sat there farming thanks to the Observer Board. He knew exactly what he can get away with. Mind Control doesn't actually have... Oh wait, they sentry. Pasha misses the skewer. Mind Control's on the way out. No one's right behind the Fidget creation from GH. Well, that's going on. The Lich ends up dying to Ramses. Earthshaker still wants out, hiding in the trees. This time, it's Queen of Pain to ping it and Lil to scout for it. He gets the crutch with the amplification. No way to hide for GH. And the Orchid of no one, making it impossible for any kind of counter stuns or fissures from the Earthshaker.
Ramses killed the Lich without using Chrono. The Diffusal Blade is a very nice counter against that hero. Just jumps on him with Time Walk, starts hitting him. After Ice Armor, you just Diffusal and kill him off, and Lich can't do anything about this hero at all. It's a pretty bad hero matchup once he has Diffusal Blade.
Pasha's looking for another kill. The Shadow Blade Scout moving into the dire jungle. Unfortunately for Pasha, there is nobody there. Virtus.Pro Actually then send Ramses to the southern half of the map. That is where Miracle is farming, but he just dodges it too. Blinks up as VP rotate, he'll go into the Dire jungle to the northern side. Observer wards up from Liquid. They'll see VP now arriving at the T1 tower.
These plague wards are important as well. Ramses is scared of getting
Pasha.
Shaker, good sentry.
Scouted out, the Fissure will hold him there. GH has the Echo Slam in 4 seconds time. Pasha, the Chain Frost won't bounce. So they burn through that. And there's double TPs coming to the top lane. It's like VP understand they cannot get this fight. So they look for somebody else. And Miracle, no! Whoops!
Oh, he doesn't have Manta ready.
Oh, this is problematic. 3 seconds till his back off cooldown. He'll blink out. He doesn't have a TP scroll, however, and thanks to the Tinkerlord up on the hill, Miracle, he can't play the Fog of War. Mantas blinks up. Pasha as well as Lil, they're coming, but Miracle's gone north. There's your blink up. Lil gets a crush, and Miracle will go down.
That is so high value from that Tinker Ward. That is the biggest kill on the map. 1 minute without Miracle, no buyback. Obviously doesn't want to use it if he had it, but this allows VP to push out probably all the lanes and maybe find a secondary kill because they get space on the map. That is exactly what's going to happen. Hey,
yeah, wait for that. Wait for the Courier Snipe too. Kuro can see he's trying to choose between Solo and Kuro, and Solo just lets the Ice Blast go. He's got a little bit of help on top of him as well as GH moving over. Lil looking for the crush, but the Fissure will stop it. So they go for the Nova as well as the Gale. Is it enough? No one arrives. Going to kill off Kuro. Looks towards the Earthshaker, and Pasha, a short-range skewer. Echo Slam from GH trying to fight back. But it is just not enough. No one gets the double kill. Lil was the casualty of war for Virtus.Pro.
And Mind Control once again finds himself in the most arbitrary position on the map. I feel like every minute I look at Mind Control, he's just standing in some weird corner.
Well, every time his TP's off cooldown, he's in those trees.
Yeah.
He's getting the triggers up and pushing out the lane, always making it difficult for Virtus.Pro to have any kind of momentum. And also making the map still safer for Miracle. He's looking to go directly to Butterfly after having that Manta. He's screwing out the BKB, not going to go for that. Is that the wisest thing when you've still got a decent amount of magical burst and control?
I think he can't go BKB this game. I think it's too weak, actually, for now. Parry. I don't know if the Butterfly is the best alternative choice, but I really get the idea of not getting BKB. The problem is, there's so much BKB piercing stuff on the other side. Ice Blast pierces it, at least the Shatter. You have the RP, you have the Chrono. There's so much lockdown. You can even amplify through the BKB. He might have to get it later, but for now, the BKB will not really allow him to fight with confidence. So then it's probably better to get a farm.
Confidence? Ooh. Worried he was going to miss the Chrono once more. Jumps forward, using that Mask of Mana to be into GH. Support's coming in from Mind Control. Now the Lich holding, bouncing up towards Pasha. It's going to stay with Ramses, who lets the Mana Style go. Pasha still visible under the Sentry Ward planted from Team Liquid. He wanted a good RP, but just had no mana at the end of the day.
Quick counterplay there. Great reaction from them to come in and solve that problem.
Now Lil looking to go towards mid. Amplification on the top of him. Blink, crushed. Here comes Ramses. Chrono is up. Venomance on the edge of the 4-star with the Fissure, creating space. Sonic Wave and the Ice Blast will connect on 3 heroes. No, it won't. They've already backed up because they found the kill on the Venomancer. Ramses has to jump out. Miracle. The Mana Void is not enough. Ramses still alive. He'll die as the Poison Sting at this rate. Time Warp can't come in time. Miracle's doing the work. 3 heroes down for Virtus.Pro. Solo's TP out will be successful. Same for no one. A Team Liquid ready now to add some pressure to this mid lane.
Big moves from Liquid coming in here. The kill on Void especially is very important. Now AM is going to create a gap, and this matchup between these two is very item dependent. When the Anti-Mage gets the Abyssal Blade, he has the chance to actually kill off the Void on his own. Until then, the Chronosphere is kind of the stronger play.
Watch for Pasha. Watch for Pasha. They don't see him. Solo RP on the Anti-Mage for GH. Counter initiation. Looking for the Fidget Stun. Hits on all 3. Allowing Miracle now to get a double kill. Perfect control, perfect positioning from the Earthshaker. And he even gets out safely.
Instant counterplay. Now, Mind Control may have overstayed his welcome a little bit, or has he?
It's a trap. It's a trap. Queen of Pain. The mana is burning. Cannot blink. The Orchid wears off, but the pop from the Orchid allows Mind Control to end the wicked 6 streak. Giving him 755 gold as well.
And these last few minutes for Liquid have been so good. And Mind Control is really confident. He's just TPing up here with 200 health. He doesn't care. It's not small.
Ramses
push up.
He'll get the kill on the Kuro. So, yep, okay, you add that pressure, but with Shrines right behind you. A little too cocky from Liquid to add that pressure to Tier 2, but they're going to get it. Tier 2 tower will fall, but let's have a look at this fight once more. A quick RP, and then counter.
Actually,
and three-man stun.
He only gets the Echo Slam Aftershock stun onto the mag, but he forces the Queen of Pain to move away, and they can't connect the Fissure. Or, I mean, they can't connect the Queen of Pain damage, and then the Fissure hits all three. Really nice counterplay from GH. So fast on his Earthshaker.
I'm glad VP can laugh about it. Still, in this position, that last couple of fights is Team Liquid who are getting back in front. Yes, GH has been one of the big instrumental parts of Team Liquid, but they've taken this gold graph from a 1K advantage to Virtus.Pro to a 4,000 advantage in favor of Team Liquid. Even the experience graph, for the first time in this game, it leans the way of Team Liquid as well.
Yeah, the Anti-Mage is really, really getting big fast now. Butterfly is going to up his farming rate even further. He's starting to build into that Abyssal Blade now so that he can kill the Faceless Void. And Ramses with that death in mid, he lost a lot of momentum. And now he's actually changing up his build. He was thinking about the Shadow Blade as I expected, but he actually went for the... He's queuing up the BKB for now, feeling like he has to be able to stand and deliver in the fights, else he's going to get controlled by GH. And this will make it harder for them to catch the AM. The less Shadow Blades they have, the less opportunities are going to present themselves. As now Pasha is the only real hero on the Radiant that can catch this AM off guard while he's farming. So at this point, Liquid's going to just get a really big miracle.
Liquid are fine with this. Keep the pressure on, all the side lanes keep getting pushed. This is something which Mind Control has been doing from the very beginning. Questionable positions, but it's still been doing the job. And Virtus.Pro, what do you want to do in the meantime? You're looking for a kill, but while these lanes continue to pressure in, it becomes very obvious when you go for a smoke gank, and probably that's one of the reasons why we haven't seen many of them. You're only letting Pasha come out with a Shadow Blade, trying to find some of these openings. The rest of it becomes a game of trades. No one's looking to attack the tier 2 tower up on the top lane, but he doesn't know when Team Liquid are going to force the issue either. Nature's Prophet can be anywhere. Having that silence makes a life very, very dangerous when no one then has to burn BKB just to escape from the Orchid. And in fact, looks like they're going to TP down the bottom lane. They're looking for Miracle. The Observer Wards are down again. This Tinker Ward Ramses even started farming just to lull Miracle into a false sense of security. The Crushers are out, but Miracle is tanking this. The Manta is down. Lil's losing life. No one has to initiate forward. Mind Control in the neighborhood. The BKB Sonic Wave animation pop from this. Even the RP being committed. The message is sent from Virtus.Pro where they want to kill no matter what.
The thing is, it's worth it. If they don't lose any heroes now, it's worth it to drop all of your ultimates for that kill. It's
Where's the
such
vision?
a big kill.
Pasha TPing out. The Sprout's too far away. They're all going to escape. No one's in the tree line. He doesn't have his BKB up, but he'll blink further north. He'll buy a TP scroll, but it'll still take another 25 seconds for it to come off cooldown. So he ventures deeper into enemy territory.
And they don't end up finding absolutely nobody there. And now they have to TP away. Mission successful for VP. That looked a little bit clunky. I think the Slaughter stun was too early with the Chronosphere, and then the Skewer actually touched the Chrono. Yeah,
it's
that's dead Lil, I think.
Lil's able to get the crush off, but support's coming in. Mind Control right in front of him. He'll be involved and actually let Matubberman have it just from the dot effect. And maybe they think about Roshan. Chrono's on cooldown for 40 seconds. So Team Liquid, this is doable.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Pasha doesn't want to let this go. The Ice Blast will fly forward. Connects on 3 heroes. Ramses, he's coming in with a time dilation. This is really problematic. The Noble will kick out. Venomancer will die, even though he does get the ulti up, but no one picking up the pieces. The Fissure from GH. It gives Mind Control some space. The Blink can come forward in a moment. GH still battling up against Ramses, but Ramses can time walk forward. He'll find the kill. No one found his target, and Nature's Prophet. It's a straight buyback, but look where it goes. Down to the side lanes, trigger the Wrath of Nature, always make VP look behind. This is paranoid play.
That was such a beautiful combination, though, coming out from all these 3 VP players. The Skewer into the Ice Blast, they knew VP or Liquid were going to react. Actually, maybe we don't have time for this. There's no fighting going on.
Yep. They were looking for the opening. Treants will come in. No one can try and help clear this off. Sonic Waves of cooldown in a couple of seconds' time. Ramses has the Chronosphere, Manta and Diffuser Blade. Even Blink Slaughter ready to go. Liquid, they really want to contest this. The Sprout from Mind Control gives them the vision, and they'll realize that VP, they're backing out for the moment.
Chrono is ready, though.
Yeah, it's the combination up. But look at the creep waves on the side. Even top lane, there's a catapult wave with 4 range creeps reaching the tier 3 tower. VP will want to send somebody back to deal with this.
Yeah, they're going to send the Queen of Pain back and smoke up the other heroes. No Boots of Travel on no one, though, so he can't connect for this. This is a bold play.
Oh, mind control, what are you doing? He's in the tree line on the side. Is he really trying to force this? Meanwhile, the Chronosphere is up. Skiller back into the Ice Blast and Echo Slam. GH trying to create space here for Team Liquid, able to do so. Now, with the Chain Frost, Ramses wants to battle against Roshan, but it's his worst friend. He'll come and bring it over towards Solo while they bump up to the Shrine. Regeneration set from Liquid, no one's in too deep. A blink away will get him back out to the shallow end, to where the kids can swim. Miracle once more, Mana Void, he can't see him. No one goes up, it's a secondary Shrine. He's able to burn. Meanwhile, up on top lane, Mind Control has taken the range rack to tier 3 tower. They weren't looking behind Mind Control. He has been one shady prophet this entire time, and he's even going to get a kill on Solo. He leaves him to die at the hands of the Orchid. Can he get out, however? Lil's behind. The crush is there. Ramsey brings on the damage. Mind Control will die, but so does Roshan. They got the Aegis Immortal into the hands of Miracle, and Liquid are coming for your top.
That was so high value play from Mind Control. Oh, what he managed to accomplish there. Getting the tower, the racks, getting the support kill, forcing rotation, and then getting them the Roshan. That was all Nature's Prophet that moment. Just beautiful stuff. No one did survive, but that was so expensive for VP.
I want to give so many props just to Mind Control. We can't flag it more than enough. Like, how much pressure has he had on those sidelines time and time again? He set it up as well. He forced VP to come back, then VP go to Roshan, and they're just trapped. Well, it's almost like picking in the middle for Team Liquid. They're throwing the objective one way or the other, and VP had to make a choice. They've got a big combination of abilities that they want to synergize together to get that team fight on Team Liquid, and it got pretty close to the Roshan pit. That skewer from Magnus was wonderful, pulling him into the Ice Blast, but
I think
the effect of Liquid was just so good.
I think what happened was that they chronoed, and then they skewered into that chrono with 2 heroes and Ice Blast, and then he didn't get RP off.
Well, let's have a quick look at it again.
Right.
So this is the wave. Okay, no, this is actually just them taking top.
That's the real replay.
We did it, boys. Nice! That's a nice loud moment.
So, I'm pretty sure they didn't get RP off in the pit, or if they did, it didn't have much effect. Maybe they messed up and layered it with the chrono. Because I was really surprised with the outcome of that. When I saw the hero skewered into that chrono, and there were 3 heroes chronosphered, and Ramses was just wailing away at them in the BKB, I thought there were going to be multiple kills there for VP. But Liquid's hero stayed alive, counterplayed well, and got the objective that they needed. And now they can choose if they want to use this Aegis aggressively or if they want to take it easy for a bit.
They will. They just got a Blink Dagger on the Venomancer, and Miracle just got his full Abyssal Blade completed up. This guy's a tank. Not only does he have the Aegis Immortal, he's got the cheese, and the ping is coming. You know what they want. They got the range racks on top. Mind Control, well, wherever he goes, Team Liquid follows. They're coming to the bottom lane, and they may just force the issue. But where is the opening? They need to find that against Virtus.Pro. VP have all of their combo up. Kuro's going to look for it. Observer Ward down. Sentry's already there. Lil comes down for the crush. Miracle moves forward, and they jump in. Queen of Pain destroyed! You get the Chronosphere down. Ramsey trying to do the damage. Animation to get back out. This one, the RP from Pasha keeps the control going. Liquid, they've gone in too deep. Venomance against the ulti out. He codes 3 heroes in it, but now you get a secondary Miracle. Thanks to Aegis Immortal. Remember, he's still got the cheese as well, but there's a lot of dot effects they're trying to get rid of, triggering off the shrines. Miracle will come back in once more, while Nature's Prophet has headed top. You know what Mind Control wants. This is now bait out from Team Liquid. The one person who hasn't taken the bait is Ramses. He's watching that melee Rax that got attacked, but, well, you pull out, they're coming back in again.
Still need to be careful now with the AA Ice Blast available. Again, Miracle can die to any stun plus Ice Blast combination with a couple of attacks, so
this is so
to be cautious, not able to use the cheese under that effect.
I love how Mind Control is doing this, where he's playing a split push game, doesn't have Maelstrom, doesn't even have the Desolator, not looking for those quick building kills just because he has the items to do it. He's keeping the control for the team fights while still adding the split push effect.
Yep, he's just sending trans, man. He's just sending trans. And you're thinking, okay, that's going to give a lot of gold to VP, but it's forcing all these rotations, it's causing all this chaos that has given Liquid advantages. Yep. And I guess, I think Liquid are not too happy with that, to be honest. They got the buyback from no one, which is good, but they didn't do any structural damage. They didn't get that tier 3 tower or any barracks out of their Aegis, but it looks like they're still thinking about getting the pounce off here.
They still have the cheese on Miracle. This may be enough for them, even though they have to be mindful about the Ancient Apparition. Ice Blast is on cooldown for 8 more seconds. That's enough time for Miracle to add some pressure.
Chrono's up in 10 seconds. I think Miracle's gonna die in it if he gets Chrono now. Chrono, Ice Blast, BKB Void.
Yeah, there isn't a lot of save for him. Lil gets the amplification on at least. He can break free with the Mana Style. He knows that, Pasha. There's no sentry wards close, so if he wants to, okay, there's one now in the lane. So they'll see that. But this isn't up to Liquid to force the issue right now. They're not on an Aegis timing. That allows the push to go through the top lane. Wrath of Mage is going to help out with this. In fact, it actually just stole the farm of Miracle. Tisk, tisk, tisk.
Oh, he's going to get the Hex now?
Yep, he's going straight in for the side that fires. He just needs the ultimate orb, but he's got it. Mind Control has 1,500, almost 15,000 to 16,000 net worth at the moment. And all of it's really, really effective gold. Miracle's the only one banking a little bit more as he builds it for the heart.
Yeah, he has to tank up. I think not going BKB at all in this game might be the right choice, and just getting a lot of health, evasion, and armor so that you can try to stay alive. He knows he is going to get caught by something, whether it be a Slayer stun, an RP, or a Chrono. So he needs to give his teammates enough time and possibilities to counterplay, give GH that extra second to find the good Echo and Fissure. And of course, if they start getting defensive items like, they have the Solar Crest on Lich already, maybe they'll get an additional defensive item to try to save him.
This is feeling very, very familiar to Game 1, where Team Liquid now just have Virtus.Pro locked inside the base, and VP have good ways to counter-push it. The Empower being primarily it. You can get the Maelstrom build up as well onto the Faceless Void, but it looks like he's going the Monkey King Bar instead.
He needs that item.
Yeah, he needs to be able to hit into the Butterfly.
It's the absolutely best purchase he has here by far. This MKB, he's going to be able to bring AM so low in the Chrono, then there will be kills. Of course, being able to defusal off that ice armor is also very important to keep in mind. It does make a big difference in these late game scenarios, having that extra 9 armor and the attack speed slow. But Void doesn't have to worry about that.
VP, how long do you really want to stay in here? Not much longer by the looks of it. The 4-man smoke up, the creep wave's pushing down the mid, no one will have to defend that. All the creep waves are out far enough for Virtus.Pro that this isn't going to be as obvious as the Dire Observer Ward watching the maneuver of Queen of Pain. And the fact that she even comes out of her home starts to beg a couple of questions.
Ramses got his 25, took the Time Walk cast range. Miracle went for the agility over the Mana Void cooldown. We've seen different pickups in that slot. The Mana Void goes from 70 to 20 second cooldown, or you get 25 agility. This game is just valuing that extra armor and damage and attack speed a bit more. It's the right choice as well.
And it takes so much just to kill the Miracle illusions.
Yeah.
How are they meant to kill the hero itself? Like, Bloodthorn's going to help out with that.
I'm actually not worried about that for VP. I think they have damage and spades to kill this AM for the rest of the game. When this MKB comes out for the Void especially, they can kill the Anti-Mage. It's more about whether they can catch him off guard and prevent the counterplay out from Liquid being powerful enough.
Ramses, they found him. The Observer Ward does the work. The Ice Blast will connect, even Sonic Wave.
Case in point.
Yeah.
There you go. That's...
And look at VP. Instantly they're trying to add the pressure. They're going down the mid, but look where Nature's Prophet is also headed. He appears up on the top lane. The army of Treants is there, and any kind of aggression the VP want to do, they're not going to be able to. Lil searching for GH on the bottom lane. But we are still sitting in nighttime. It only just turned to day. So GH had the ability to say he just had a vision of Lil.
Farm just keeps getting racked up. Nature's Prophet has overtaken the Queen of Pain now, so big items coming the way of Mind Control, the Scythe plus 2300, and even now double damage rune might make them want to go for this. Gale misses completely from Matumba, man. That wasn't even close.
Yeah, he was trying to use the Observe Ward and then just guess the exact position of Lil, but Lil moves so quickly with Yules and Sprint.
Yep.
That it's difficult to work that exact math out.
And he's going to get a Shadow Blade as well, so... more ability to catch. Kuroki got spotted, and... ow.
Good kill for Ramses.
Yeah, that's amplify damage for you. Right there.
I love how efficient Mind Control's also being. He just TP'd from the bounty rune on his top to the lane on top. Like, that's as far as he went. He just took the...
got the Hex off.
Maybe now they get the kill on the Faceless Void. The Fissure is there from GH. Echo Slam stopping Slaughter at Ramses. He tries to get free. The BKB's been triggered. Here comes your Ice Blast. It's in deep, but no! Pasha, the RP doesn't connect on anything. No one was ready to rip apart the back lines, but now it's Matumberman looking for the kill onto Pasha, keeping that Plague Ward poison sting damage onto him. Prophet TP's forward. They'll have the Hex, combining it up with the Sprout. They break him free. It's Lil doing that with the Quelling Blade, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Gem of True Sight, loss of Virtus.Pro, and 70 seconds with no Magnus, and he has no buyback.
That's a big kill.
No Roshan for Liquid. They may just come for a push now because of this.
They'll have 30 seconds, actually. If they keep scouting that pit, they have a Plague Ward in there. They will definitely try to take this Rosh when it spawns, knowing that Mag is down and has no RP. And I'm pretty sure this will just flat out go the way of Liquid unless this Void finds a Chronosphere in the next 20 seconds. They could really just claim it.
And that Chrono needs to be coupled. No one needs to be there with the Sonic Wave and Bloodborne, or else they just don't have the damage as well.
Yeah.
But Plague Ward watches, Roshan spawns up right now. So Team Liquid instantly don't know, and Miracle goes after it. They've already got one cheese onto the Anti-Mage.
There isn't much VP can do about this without their RP, I think. They could, if they had a smoke, maybe they could try it.
They just use Ice Blast to push out the top lane as well, so it's not available for 4 more seconds. And that's just the flight time is going to be too long. Liquid will be done before it will reach it.
This is big. So now that the way VP have to defend against this Anti-Mage is that they need to kill him in Chrono or RP, and then they need to kill him with the other one afterwards in order to kill him twice. Either that or you kill the other heroes first.
Somebody want the secondary cheese? It's currently sitting there inside of Roshan. They gave the other cheese over to the Venomancer, so Anti-Mage dropped his.
Kur's like, okay, I'll get it.
If I have to. Did somebody forget something? The stove was left on. Gotta melt that cheese. Alright, so VP. Testing time gonna come their way. Another Aegis push from Team Liquid. They've already taken that top range racks, but that's not a huge amount of momentum. The Nature's Prophet is probably gonna be the hero to watch. How hard does he push and which lane does he push? And do they force VP to split?
The biggest deal right now is definitely the Aegis. That's the thing to look out for, is do Liquid get value out of this Aegis the Immortal on Anti-Mage, because Miracle's more or less maxed out by now. He can maybe replace one item, he can replace his treads for something, but beyond that, he's at his peak. AM falls off later compared to other heroes. Void still has a bit of room to grow, but it's also more or less maxed out. But he has the amplifications that AM doesn't have from his lineup. He has the Empower, he has the Amplify Damage, or Corrosive Haze as it's called nowadays. So this is the timing. This should be the strongest point for Liquid now in the game, is right now. And if they execute it well, they could just go on to the next round.
Well, they got a decent way pushing through bottom. The upside of Ramsey's actually having this plus 600 time walk cast range is he can move between the lanes really, really quickly. A 6-second cooldown for the time walk. Able to disengage from the fights of Team Liquid or engage in deeper.
And his damage is so high as well. Hits for 500 with Cleave. And he doesn't have a crit yet, though. That's the silver lining here for the Anti-Mage, is that Ramses can't crit him, but...
Oh, he's not even going for that. He's got Butterfly in his quick buy.
Yeah, he wants to have some defensive utility against the Anti-Mage. AM doesn't like buying Monkey King Bar. It's annoying when you have to buy that item over other items.
Well, of course, Matumberman gonna start with the Gale, but it doesn't matter.
Quick Manta.
Yep.
Gets out. And they do have the backup of Magnus behind. Keep that in mind. He has the Force Staff. They want to immediately save Ramses if he gets jumped on, and we've seen a couple of previous situations actually where it was costly for VP that Lil didn't go for a Force Staff. I think a secondary one would be very good here, but he is opting for the Lotus Orb. Try to counter that Abyssal Blade of Anti-Mage, I would guess.
That push is coming in through bottom while Miracle goes in through top. We're going for the full split screen right now as Matumberman jumps in with the Blink, Shivas, and Nova. Ramses gets the Chronosphere off, but who does he really get? It's only the one hero he's doing almost no damage to. It's the AM Pasha. That'll work with the Echo Slam. GH will arrive with the Chain Frost damage as well. They need to split out right now. And Pasha, he also get hit by the Chain Frost Sonic Wave. No one trying to get something back in this fight, but the bash from Anti-Mage. The Aegis Immortal will finally trigger. Gale connects on no one. Nature's Prophet, Mind Control. He's taking the bottom lane of Brax while this top lane fight's going on, but it's still going the way of Team Liquid. Another stun. Slider will fall. No buyback on him. Miracle's going in deep. The Yule Scepter buys space for Ramsey to time walk back into the safety of his own base, but no one in the middle of nowhere has to buy back, but you've lost both your side lanes of Brax. Team Liquid from all sides be standing upon Virtus.Pro. The tier 3 tower in the mid will now fall. Where is the defense? You don't have Chrono, RP, Sonic Wave. AA will be back up in a second, but GG, well played. VP realized the truth. The truth is Team Liquid will eliminate them from the International and advance forward into the next round of the lower bracket, keeping the Team Liquid hopes alive.
And that looked like that hug from Miracle to Mind Control looked a little